I heard they're doing receiver, and I hear, okay, Devontae Adams, I get it. Obviously, Justin Jefferson, totally get that. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's just dynamite. Yep. And, and then I hear about Deebo Samuel, 49er. I'm like, wait, there's more.
There's one more.
George Kittle.
Yeah. I snuck in.
Dude, and receiver, and you're tight end.
I know.
This is, and I understand Greg Olson's called the Super Bowl.
That he is. And,
Travis Kelce has become, the first man of pop culture,
Fair.
But you're striking as big a blow for tight ends as I've ever seen.
We're trying out there. The fun thing about being a tight end is you got to do everything. And when you look at whether it's like Travis, who had 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons, not bad.
Yeah.
And then like the tight end position no longer is, just like an extra left tackle wearing, number 46.
Yeah.
It's like you have these athletes out there who are like main targets for these offenses. And so it's just kind of fun to go out there and show that we do all those fun things, but we also get to hit people a lot, which is what I like to do.
Yeah. And we just saw a clip of you taking
that was a fun one.
Aiden Hutchinson down.
I did. Yeah, that was a good one. I like how I would like to promote receivers. We show a run blocking clip. That's phenomenal.
Well, I mean,
I influenced the show in some way, so I'm pumped about that.
It's to your point.
I'm pumped about that.
You're doing it. It's not just because you're excellent at receiving the ball.
No.
There's more things that you do.
A couple things.
I have not seen the rest of this series yet. How much are we going to see about, Amon-Ra blocking? Probably not much.
You'll see a little bit.
We will.
Yeah.
Have you seen these episodes?
Yeah.
You've watched them all?
I watched the whole thing through with my wife. Yeah, it was fantastic.
All 8 episodes?
All 8 episodes, every single person.
How'd you like it?
I'm a huge fan of it. I think it does a fantastic job. I'm a huge fan of just me and Deebo stuff because it's like kind of intertwined throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of fun because me and Deebo have a pretty unique relationship, and then you got to throw it out there. Like when we get onto a football field, it's like our energy kind of syncs up, and for people to see that, I think will be pretty fun.
How so? Give me an example.
We're both violent football players, and so like me and Deebo might not be like, hey, let's go get a cup of coffee after practice, but we're on a football field, like we find each other, and we're like, hey, like we have to set the tone. And you got to see that, when he's carrying the football, running over people, whether I'm doing the same thing or you just get to like feel that energy coming off of us. And I think that's a very unique thing that not every single team has.
When did they first hit you up, say, hey, we want to follow you around? When did that happen?
Maybe like a week or 10 days before the first game.
Of the season?
Yeah.
The entire season?
Something like that.
So you're getting ready for week 1.
It was like preseason game 3 or something like that. And they're like, hey. I was like, probably absolutely not.
That was your first thought?
Yeah, absolutely not. This was my thinking behind it was, just like, and I had not watched quarterbacks. Like I did not watch it at all. And so I was like, it seems like, adding a bunch of cameras, I don't want to upset the football gods. Football is a living, breathing organism. Like it's got its own shit to it. Excuse my language.
It's okay.
But I didn't want to like piss anything off.
Why would that? Why would? Because you're saying
it's like adding a spotlight, adding a look at me type of thing.
Yeah.
And then what really sold it for me was like because Claire had watched quarterbacks and she loved the show, specifically how it showed off like Patrick and Brittany's relationship, Kirk Cousin and his wife Julie, like how it showed off their relationship. And then she made me watch a couple episodes, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like the content that you get to see behind the closed doors, like what you get to see what they do at home. And I was really fond of that. And then she also said, she's like, look, this is something that we're going to have it. And in 10 years, you can show your kids this. I was like, that's a pretty fair point. I like that.
Plus, what other opportunity will you have to be on Netflix showing off your dog?
Oh,
who is this?
So right after the season, me and my wife, we got 2 new Great Pyrenees puppies, and they're named Calvin and Hobbes. They're brothers. She let me name them.
Yes.
Phenomenal, right?
Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah, Calvin and Hobbes. They're great.
Okay. And you have those tattoos, right?
I do. I have Hobbes on my hand.
Yeah.
Hobbes is on your hand.
Yeah.
There he is.
I'm Calvin, technically, because this is Hobbes.
Okay, very good.
But yeah, so I got Calvin and Hobbes, the puppies, and they got.
By the way, those puppies get big.
Oh, they're like 45, 50 pounds now. They're hosses. They're complete chaos. It's phenomenal.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it.
So you said yes. Did you have to like tell Kyle that,
yeah,
hey, I'm
it was
doing
actually
this?
We have Coach Shannon at the end of after every training camp, he throws like a players party with like a fun theme and stuff like that. Just brings basically like all the equipment managers, video guys, coaches, wives, players, and just to get everyone together, before the start of the season. I was like, yeah, this is as good a time as ever. Like 8 days before the first game, I'll ask him. And I was like, hey, this is something that, came across my board and I think it'd be very cool. Like, I think I do a pretty good job with the media stuff. Like, I don't ever, it's never a distraction for me. And they basically said, hey, you're going to give us all Netflix asked for is that you're going to give us access to what you want to give us access to. So, like, if you don't want us to come to your house, we technically don't, like, we want to, but you don't have to let us. Like, so we're just going to, you'll be mic'd up for every game. And he was pretty open to it too, which was pretty awesome. And then after that, and then we found out too is like NFL Films did most of the filming stuff, so it's guys on the side that you see every day.
Right, you could trust them, and you know it.
Well, so, they're not gonna like they're trying their best to like help you out and make you look as good as you can look.
Had Debo already agreed?
I don't know. I think he might have been like right after me.
Because you want to be the first to coach. You don't want to be like, hey, now there's two of us. Yeah, now there's gonna be two camera crews. You know, like you don't want to be. Fair. You don't want coach to be like, I already told Debo, yeah, or then he's got to let Debo do it because you've done it. Maybe you're the trailblazer.
Maybe. I just said it with a smile on my face. Hey, we're going to have a good time. I promise. Like, it's got to be fun.
Well, I mean, you're out there and you've put yourself out there and you've handled yourself, perfectly. So
I try my best.
There's nothing that he's going to be sitting there going, I'm going to get a phone call. This is what George did.
That's what I was like. It's like the worst thing that's going to happen is the worst thing that could happen is like an injury or, hey, what happens if we stink this year? But I didn't think we were going to stink. We have a pretty solid roster that we put together.
Right.
And I was feeling really good about myself, like body wise. I was like, well, you know what? Best thing I can do is just one step at a time, do the best I possibly can do and see like what we can do for the season. And then it'll just be fun if we win a lot of football games to be able to document it. And I think, Coach Shanahan's like, yeah, I agree with you. It'll be kind of fun. And then from there it was first game of the season. Camera crew followed me around. I was like, you guys aren't as sneaky as you think you are, though. They're not that hard to know. It's like, hey, you're going to be behind the scenes. But I will say what was funny was I have like once a month or like once every month I have like tight ends over for dinner, just like, bring the guys together for a night. And I think this was December, maybe like early January. And I hadn't talked about the Netflix show all year. And like the only people that actually knew about it were like Ross Dwelly, Charlie Warner, two of my vet tight ends. And
that's it?
Well, like pretty much, yeah. I didn't really tell anybody.
Because they're not in practice?
It was supposed to be like kind of a surprise because they didn't want anyone to know about it.
Okay.
And they didn't like want to get spilled to the media that we were shooting a receivers thing. And so at like this dinner, I was like, yeah, there should be some fun content that everyone's going to be in. And they're like, there was a camera crew following around the entire season? I'm like, yeah, he was behind the bench with a camera directly like this far away from me with a camera on me. I was like, you guys didn't notice that? And they're like, had absolutely no idea. Like, good for you guys. How did you just go 16 weeks without seeing a camera crew follow me around? It was absolutely outrageous.
But you probably liked hearing that too, because that means you're not.
I did a good job of hiding it.
You did a good job of hiding it, and plus, you're not being intrusive on your teammates. That's pretty cool.
But that was another thing. I called because right before I said yes to it, I called up Nick Mullins, backup for Kirk Cousins up in Minnesota when he was there. And I said, hey, like, how did it go for you guys? Like, did Kirk like it? Was this something that I'm going to enjoy? And he was like, I honestly didn't even know that they were there until week 8. He goes, I didn't notice them one time. And Kirk never mentioned it, never seemed like a distraction. I was like, well, I trust Nick Mullins. He's my guy. So I was like, if it's good enough for Nick, it's good enough for me.
There you go. Did Claire like it?
Claire loved it. She had a great time. She dominates it.
Happy wife, happy life.
The coolest thing about this show, for me personally, was like, I get to go back and see all these fun moments that I had, but like, I get to see like when I score a touchdown, it goes up to like the suite where my whole family is celebrating, and like those are moments that I missed because I'm on a football field playing.
Of course.
And so to be able to see those moments of like my family high-fiving, hugging, laughing, crying, like that's a cool moment for me. And so to be able to see that and just to see like. It's fun too because I'm pretty sure they cut out more F-bombs by Claire than me, which is pretty incredible. She's a fiery spirit. I'll tell you that much. She's fire. And so I think you guys are going to, I think the whole world's going to fall in love. Anyone that watches it's going to be like, that Claire Kittle, she's one of a kind.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm pumped about that.
That's awesome. But I do think there's probably a way to determine how many F-bombs were edited out.
Can we get on that?
Kind of like a Kittle F-bomb scoreboard. That's got to exist.
We'll find it, and I'll text it to you.
Because there's no doubt. And again, I'll just so you understand, I will always touch the third rail before my guests in case it's possible. If there was an F-bomb, if there was a camera crew following around my wife and I, Susie would have, by what, a factor of 10 probably, more F-bombs removed than me.
She would lap you, yes.
She would lap the field.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, which is great.
You need
when
that.
I put her in front of a live microphone in this chair to fill in for me.
Oh, that'll be amazing.
So I totally understand.
I'll
what you're
gladly
saying.
be a guest to start. Like I'll come in for that.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah,
because
she's hosting.
Be careful, she will definitely.
I'll
take
get her
you
fired
on
up.
that.
I'll get her fired up.
Well, first thing that she would be very happy with is that you're removing this pillow and putting it in your house as opposed to keeping it here.
Look how handsome you are. You're so shiny too.
Well, that's my lot in life, sir. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.